Welcome to FCC Supporter Square, the show for fans, by fans, and about fans. Here are your hosts, Mark Suppin and Matt Warman. Welcome, Gary Nation. Welcome, Orange and Blue Nation. I am your host, Matt Warman. With me are my other host, Andrew McCormick. Say hi, Andrew.
Hello, folks.
You're supposed to say hello, Andrew. He doesn't follow instructions. It's okay. And our other host, Mark Suppin. Say hello, Mark Suppin.
Hello, Mark Sutphin.
There you go.
I did it.
That's how you follow things. We are in a jovial mood because not only did FC Cincinnati win, they won in most epic, weird, crazy 2026 way possible. I am traveling. Of course, you can't tell because, you know, the logo. But I could not do this, wait to do this podcast. I don't care where I was in the world and where I am in the world. Doesn't really matter because you're here with us and we're going to talk about the epic Chicago match. Andrew, how's your week going? How did you feel about the match?
Yeah, I mean, my week is going a lot better after the results of that match on Saturday. I'll tell you that. I mean, just what a performance to pull that out to win that. I mean, you've got, I mean, Evander with the hat trick, you know, showing up Hugo Kuipers while they celebrated his brace. The save by Roman Celentano on that penalty kick that allowed it all to happen. I mean, you gotta love it. And you know, as we've been saying every week, performance from Andre Chirilla there, looking fantastic as we've come to expect him to. So I'm feeling pretty good about this team right now with that result that we had. Looking forward to diving into it a little bit here.
Mark, how did you feel about the game? And of course, your week is always awesome, I'm sure, amazing and special. But what did you think of the defense, given who was out there?
Well, let's just get the 800-pound gorilla out of the room here. I just want to know which one of us is going to get the red card to improve the performance of the overall of the overall show. It's probably going to be me. So,
Well, you had yellow card accumulation, so I'm hoping you're behaving yourself. It's probably going to be me,
well,
but I'm
well,
trying not to because I'm the only one who runs the video, so that's
yeah,
why that's
yeah.
why it
So,
better not be me.
so
Andrew, you're just gonna have to studs up for the team. Thanks.
yeah, I guess putting my leg up inappropriately, which I guess is not too far away from who I am anyway. uh, Believe me, but no,
Inappropriate
certainly.
leg was Andrew's high school nickname.
Let's not leave too much here.
Wow,
Not to
wow,
start
we are
calling this team's name.
we're flirting near a red card already, guys. This
Yeah,
is awesome.
exactly.
But
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 we're all in such a good mood because of such an epic game.
yeah,
Talk about 800 gorillas, 800-pound gorillas. The first thing I want to talk about, there's so much, and I'm trying to get it into the our 30 to 40 minute time frame. There's a lot, and I don't know, but we're going to do our best. Is the fight for this team? This team has five red cards in 11 matches. That is the we're leading the league in red cards. We are 2-1-2 by my record. I mean, I could be wrong, but we have two wins with 10 men. I mean, to win at all with 10 men is crazy, but to win twice in like 6 weeks is insane. So anybody who says I think Noonan out is officially done, I think we could all agree that regardless of result, this team is playing as best as it can. When you get a result like that in Chicago, I mean that game had everything, but it had fight. What did you think about regardless of everything else? What did you think about the fight, Mark?
well, certainly, um, from the defensive side, you saw that fight in it all right away. Um, they were getting chances, but they just weren't that strong of chances. And you gotta really give it to our defense that stepped up. With so many guys down, you just didn't know what you're going to get. But this Andre Chirilla is absolutely earning his pay, and I'm just happy for this team. I just think I really think this team's really goes through Evander, and I think Evander was in a funk. He got a little knock early in the season, and I think the team sort of declined because he wasn't 100%. And certainly I think they found their legs, and you just saw them taking care of business and don't get me wrong, Chicago's a very good team. It took a lot of stamina to get this win, and we're just gonna have to wade through these red cards, and hopefully this is the last one. I'm hoping it is, but it's been just kind of the joke of the season with how many red cards and how well we've gotten results. Um, Dotto played very well. Buka, he's clearly becoming the glue to this team. Where Evander's our star, Buka is absolutely, when he's not getting absolutely pummeled out there on the field, he's actually making plays, and this is nothing but great. I'm happy with how this team's fighting, and it really to me, really kept Chicago at bay. Chicago's a good team, and we took it to them, and we fought and fought and fought, and finally, the craziness of that, last, you know, PK save, and then our, PK, that's our season right there. I mean, we had some kind of month, and thankfully, the month of April was pretty darn good for us. And I'm just happy for this team right now.
My sister was in town. She lives down in Atlanta, and she follows American football more than soccer. She goes, "How's your team doing?" I said, "Well, the last game was the complete indication of what happened, right? Through
Yeah.
all that you just mentioned. For time's sake, I can't because I was so excited about that. All I can tell you is that, and I have to paraphrase, was after that third goal went in, unfreaking believable. The whole game, the whole thing, unfreaking believable. Um, so there's so many different topics. And Shanike wasn't in the game. What do we do with him? We have some backups. The second half heroics from the team that we were looking for, of Miazga and Hagelin coming in and really solidifying that back line. The goals that we gave up, real quick, the goals that we gave up. The first one was a defended cross that got deflected
Yeah.
to Covers, who kicks the ball, who gets deflected and jumps inside the net. The announcers were driving me insane.
Yeah.
They were driving me crazy with how pro, and I think Dax McCarty played for the Chicago Fire, so that makes a bit of sense. But
Yeah.
it was like, oh, was that an amazing cross, an amazing shot? It's like, no, it was a deflection that bounced to him, and he scissor kicked it, and it was deflected, and it just
Yeah.
slipped inside the. If he doesn't get deflected, the way Roman Celentano was playing, they would have been stopped. The second goal was very much like that as well. It was Anunga tried to turn instead of just kicking the ball out. If he was conservative, he just kicked the ball out. But he tried to turn the ball and go the other way, and it got away from him, and then they got the cross in. It wasn't like it was super bad, but that's my view. Andrew, what did you think of defense last Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that it was, up to par. I think it was up to the challenge, and it was. I mean, it required a bold defense. They Chicago, that is, dominated us on a lot of the stats on expected goals, on shots and possession and whatnot, and to hold that attack off the way that they did. I mean, you let those two goals in, but as you said, you can chalk those up to some flukiness, some guys in the lineup that otherwise may not be there, and they stepped up when they needed to. I mean, Roman, just absolutely, hats off kind of game for Roman. I was just pulling up I was curious what the FOP Mob rankings were. Roman Celentano coming in with a 9.0 on that game, which
Mm.
tracks for what we saw.
Yep.
And I mean, you gotta love what that defense did, and it begs the question. I mean, this back line that we've had running Kyle Smith, Andre Sharilla, Sam Geedy,
Mm.
man, I mean, what do you do? What do you do with Nick Miles and Matt coming back?
Yep.
If these guys earned their way into starting in those roles, or do you expect that our starters come back in and it looks even better than it already does? I'm very interested to see see what comes of that, going forward as those guys find their fitness. But from what we've seen, I'm loving what they're doing, and you can't say that enough, especially especially with Andre Sharilla. I mean, that
Mm.
dude is fast tracking his way to my
Wow.
next jersey purchase at this rate.
It's unbelievable. A 17-year-old who was not expected to do anything but to be up in the first team. It's his first homegrown contract, having to be pressed into service because of all of the injuries, 5 injuries, right? So he's like, okay, 17-year-old, we're just going to have to muddle through until somebody gets healthy. And it's now we've gone from, like I said a couple of weeks ago, yikes, to okay, who is sitting down? I mean, he's playing. He is definitely going to play. He is going to be the next Miles Robinson. I mean, I don't know if we'll have him in the future. Will he be a DP center back like we have with Miles Robinson? But now you don't worry about so much things, particularly in the future. But I want to shout out not only how well he played. Pat Noonan said neither Hagelin nor Miazga were going to play a full 90. They just couldn't. But they were well enough to play, 30, 45. Maybe they would come in for the last 10 minutes to see a game out. No, a fluke red card, which, by the way, we could talk about whether it was a red card or not a red card real briefly. But first, how about the old standbys, the guys who haven't been there? Like they had to be pressed into service. You got to remember, like the Red Bulls. This is a press all the time, and these guys have some really top scores. We got 6 points basically from their loss and our win, and we're still a point or two behind Chicago. Six is not bad because of the DC result, but and it's still early to worry about all of that stuff. But it was when we needed those old guys, so to speak. They came in and did the trick. They organized, they kept things at bay. What do you see going forward, and what were your thoughts, Mark, on the old guard?
Well, just like you said, we had a defense that just stepped up, and it is going to be very interesting to see where these guys are going to get their minutes once the starters come back. And I'm just I can't be more thrilled. I mean, just look at Sharilla. The name Sharilla. Uh, it's indicative of Stefan, who signed with the first team last year, and he was heir apparent, and Andre was sort of the afterthought of this. But look where we are today. Andre has solidified himself, and and no slouch on Stefan. He's still doing pretty good things. He just needs to really get more experience up at the top level. He's really killing it down at FCC too, that's for sure. But Andre, wow, what were you doing at age 17? Not taking care of top five team in MLS. That was a joy to see, and just hard luck on Kyle Smith. Obviously not violent. It's just he went to make a play, and he put it. Dude put his face right in there, and he put your face in there. Well, it's gonna want a red card for that because I mean, everybody saw his eye was all scarred up, and it just is what it is. It's just hard luck, and sadly, it's been a lot of hard luck for this team in the red card department. But I said before April started, April's going to tell us a lot about this team, and I don't think it really told us about red cards, but it really showed how resilient this team is. Every man on, every man, next man up, a patchwork defense that just worked. Geedy didn't back down. Uh, Kyle Smith, he did everything he could until he couldn't. Got sent off. But it's just with so many players out. We've got Naboto out. We've got Hadebe out, and Miazga and Haglund, very small time. Yeah, this is very surprising, very surprising, and it only looks better. That we're sitting in sixth right now. That's very good. From all the adversity we have had to endure with injuries and red cards, you would have, I would have bet you anything we'd have been under. We'd have been the lower half or lower 30 than for real. But look at us, we are sixth, uh, just a couple of points away from Chicago. So I'm terribly happy right now. Very very happy.
You want to be top four by the end of the season. Obviously, you want to be first in your division. Maybe
Yep.
the West looks like and this is how Supporter Shield works with so many teams, is that one one conference has a lot of a lot of parity. The other side is very uneven, and so the top teams in the West are like 28 points, 25
Yeah.
points, and the top here is like 23. It's
Yeah.
still not over, and they could go into the cold streaks, but when you have to play, you know, Philadelphia is towards the bottom of the table, if not at the bottom. You know that they're going to somehow get themselves straightened out. Montreal is doing unusually well, and so is the Red Bulls, and so is DC United. They're ahead of us now because they're following along, which is all really good for the league and good for watching.
Yep.
Uh, but I have to say, if you look back to the end of March, after the CONCACAF, and you saw like the 6-1 drubbing of the Revs. The Revs have to come to our place. They're not going to win 6-1.
Nope.
They may win, they may lose. I'm not going to predict that. It's too far out. I don't really care. But I guarantee you that it's not going to be a lackluster 6-1. If you look back at how the games have played and how angry the players are playing, right? My thought was back then, maybe Noonan's losing the team. Maybe his approach isn't reaching the players. They are not communicating. They're not doing things. I don't want to go through slow starts like we do. But you look at that team on Saturday night, they fought for each other, they fought for us, and the ball bounced our way and we
Hmm.
made the plays. I mean, it did bounce our
Yep.
way a little bit, but we made the plays. Real quick, and then I'm going to hand it off to you, Andrew. I thought the officiating, look, it was a weak red card, but what are you going to do? If you're going to put your head in somebody's boot, so at some point somebody's got to say, I'm sorry you hurt your face, but you're not supposed to do that. But they're not going to do that. You're going to see a boot to the face, and they're going to call a red card every time. Their penalty in the box for Chicago was weak, but the penalty and I'm not going to say ours was as
Nope.
weak. I think it was less weak, but it was still a little weak. But he went through our man studs up. He had his studs up.
Yes.
Um, but he called it consistent. That's all you care about. Whether you're going to call it tight or loose, as long as you call it consistent. At least this guy did it, and he's a World Cup official. So, given the fight and the officiating and the red card, Andrew, what did you feel overall? What's your feels? What's your vibe? It's a vibe check. So what's your vibe check on the team right now?
Vibes, I mean, vibes are heightened. I mean, and I'd, be remiss if I didn't chime in, backtrack for a second to say, hate that red card by the book, hate that red card. Like you guys said, you're gonna put your head down there, you're gonna get kicked. I don't like that the options are, don't play the ball or, get a red card. But anyway, that's fine, whatever. We're used to it. But vibes, pretty good right now, pretty good. I mean, we had questioned, Pat a little bit earlier this season, and he hasn't made, some of the changes that I feel like I would like to see. But he has shown that he's not afraid to shake it up, to try some new things. I mean, when you have, Buka playing on the wing, you've got healthy Ender Echenike sitting the bench. Samuel Geedy playing center back. These are moves that, I mean, we saw a little bit of Buka, out on the wing last year, but overall, these are moves that, I didn't really see coming, and they've played out. And it just tells me that this team, this coaching staff, they're not afraid to do what it's going to take to get the right results after a disappointing start. And I think that plays into how the front office as a whole is looking at it when you
Hmm.
creep up on this upcoming summer window. It's I'm very optimistic for where this team is going. They're not world beaters yet, but they are doing what Pat Noonan did in 2021 or 2021, 2022. What year did Pat Noonan start? 2022. They're
Two.
doing what he did in 2022. They're taking the pieces that they have and they're working around it and they're getting results out of it. And you love to see that, and it makes you excited for where they're going to be when they have the chance to retool a bit coming up here in a couple months.
And that leads me into the most difficult question for you, Mark. So here we go. We have Miles Robinson, who was injured. Probably won't see him until after the World Cup, just to make sure that he's 100%. We'll see if he actually plays a game before World Cup. But he was out. We have Haglin and Miazga. We've decided that Trilla is in. His ball skills for a center back are crazy, and his passing skills are going to only get better, and his ball skills. And this is for a center back. You have Dado and Evander playing. Dado and Evander playing, I think, is the key that we haven't been seeing. And we have Buka on the wing, but we have Enchenike. So what do you do? Do you sit Buka for a game? And I would, it's a good problem to have. Is that we have now Hidebe comes back, Obi comes back, uh, uh, it, and Enchenike plays, and then Buka sits. Does Buka sit? I mean, he's been playing so many minutes for us in so many games. Hey, by the way, congratulations, Buka, on 100 games, 100 caps. Where that's awesome. We do love you. I know you don't score all the goals or do all the flashy things, but we notice you, we see you, and we appreciate you very
Yeah.
much. But so Mark, what do you do? What do you do with an Akaniche, I don't know why I can't speak today, but Echenike and Buka, Giddy and Obi, or Anunga and Obi, Hadebe versus Haglin. What do we do? Do we do back three, back four? Do we change things? How do you see us going forward with this log jam of now like 15, 16 people that we could play as starters?
Yeah, just trumpeting what you said about Buka, and he's been an absolute workhorse, an Iron Man out there, and I wouldn't mind seeing him get a match off, maybe a week off, if he's feeling that drag. As I as an old, former player, I had the drag, and you just get into a spot where 100% just does not look like 100%. And I'd like to see him get a week off, but only if he's feeling that way. Otherwise, um, I'm happy with where Dado's getting the minutes he's uh, doing, and he's playing well. He's certainly uh, figuring in the offensive side. I don't see a whole lot of true defensive stalwart. We won't see that until we get Noboto back, and and then once Hidebe comes back, you've got some options. Well, Giddy moves back up, and that only bolsters the ability for somebody like Buka to get a little bit of time off. Um, but yeah, Echenike, I'm hoping he returns and he's just as strong as ever, and because he's only going to pay dividends for us as we get to the middle and to the late season, where some teams are just going to start getting tired. But Echenike is going to be rolling on all cylinders. It's nothing but good stuff for us coming up.
Well, we have Momodem and Jabari and
Yes.
Barlow. I mean, we have a
Yeah.
log jam up front. So you put Echenike up front, but then what do you do with Barlow and Jabari and Momodem, who are all for various ways and reasons for what we're doing, play different roles, but are all playing their role perfectly. We
Mm.
have an embarrassment of stuff, right? At the beginning of this season, it was like, I don't know what we need. We probably need some defense, but that's kind of weird. We just got a DP defenseman. And then we saw our defense play. We're like, they're talking about who the guy from Brazil, who's why he fell out of my head. I was like, we don't need that. We don't need that guy. We don't need the drama queen. We need a midfielder? But now you're looking at everybody playing. I don't know what the summer window looks like. So quickly, Andrew, before we run out of time and don't get to Charlotte, what do you see the summer window looking like for you?
Yeah, I
What would
mean
you do
it's
as GM?
yeah, he's the GM. I mean, it's hard to tell what exactly they're going to do in the summer window. I still think that a second striker is, probably top priority right now. Well, okay, that's probably the top priority I will say for Chris Albright and Pat Noonan. I think the Neymar stuff actually is heating up a little bit, and I think that might be the top priority for their sales department. Their kits and ticket sales and such, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, there's room to improve all around. It becomes, what is this thing with Echenike where he's not playing? Have they lost faith in his ability there? Are they looking to upgrade that position? Is Obi still the guy, or do you trust him to stay match fit even when he has been match fit? He's kind of lost a step. Are you looking to upgrade, down there? Who are you sending off? Some of these guys that aren't getting utilized that, have some kind of premium. Ayub Jabari came in on a lofty deal.
Hmm.
Teenage Hadebe, doesn't see the pitch that often, even when he's healthy. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think that there's going to definitely be some activity because Chris Albright was just saying last week, I believe he held court with some of the reporters, and he was saying that they have a lot of room to work, more room than what was released to the public. He said, I believe he called it a clerical error what was released to our eyes. So it's going to be interesting. I think that the team that you see playing in orange and blue come time for the playoffs, it's not going to be the team that you're seeing right now, and that much I think you can be certain of based on what you've seen on the rumor wires and what you've heard from Albright.
I think the future is great, and we have 15, 16 wait, some we can trade, some to make space for bigger and better, and that's kind of how this league works. Is that you get somebody. I don't see Trilla going anywhere anytime soon.
Yep.
Uh, not unless a top six European team comes with their bank account, and then maybe we do that. Does Yerson Mosquera come here in the summer window, right? Now you're
Mm.
talking about a back line of Miazga or Robinson. Yeah, Robinson and Chirilla and Yerson. Oh my God, that'd be great. All right, so we got to get to this Saturday's match and a bit of a Wednesday. So Wednesday is the 5-1-3 match with the Flamingos. It's at home. We beat them last time in the regular season, like 3-1.
Yeah.
The playoffs we played like we played at the beginning of this season. I don't really want to talk about that, um, but this Miami team leaks goals. They can manufacture, but they can't hold. That is clear. They haven't won at home yet. Their new stadium. So that's all we need to talk about with that stupid team and ticket prices. But we have Charlotte. Traditionally, Charlotte is a tough place. I'm
Mm.
hoping that we have AstroTurf or whatever turf they have in Charlotte and Atlanta that they practiced on it all week because they always look confused at how the ball bounces because it bounces. It's not grass. It bounces differently.
Hmm.
We've had a hard time. I think we've won once there at home.
Hmm.
It's a different story, right?
Yes.
Yo quiero more Lucho, right? That was the game that cemented his deity in this town.
Yes.
but on the road, not so good. So Charlotte's a good team. They're kind of up and down. They play better at home. I'm gonna hate to say this, but I'm gonna pick like a 3-2 loss. And quite frankly, I don't want to. We've got a 2-game winning streak. We're playing really well. I say 3-2 loss. Andrew, where are we on this Saturday? And then what's your thoughts quickly on next Wednesday?
Yeah, so going into Saturday, like you said, Charlotte's always been a tough place for this team to play. I don't believe they have a win down there in where do they play? Bank of America Stadium yet, and it's always weird. You play on the turf, you play in a football stadium where only the lower bowl is filled, so it's always kind of wonky. But Charlotte, I was looking into them a little bit. They're on a bad run right now. 4 losses in a row, I think. They're a little weak. They're right next to us on the table as it stands, and I think that this team has figured something out. They're getting some healthy pieces back,
Mhm.
and I think that this is the year that we go down in there and come out of Charlotte with a win. And we have some some brigade representation that I know is going to be present, and I trust their voices to carry the orange and blue to a 2-0 victory
Mm.
in Charlotte.
Woo!
Yes,
I,
yes. I'm staking my entire reputation on it.
I've done
And
that so many times, I don't have any reputation left. Mark?
yeah,
Well, Matt, first off, appreciate you. I think you've been down there at least twice, if not more than that. And always good seeing pictures of our old mate, Matt Imholt, who always shows up for that match now that he's down there. Um, Certainly, first match I remember watching was that blustery, absolute hurricane type match, and they just could not play the ball at all. They just always seem to have trouble with that surface and that environment. I hope all of that is past history, and I'm looking forward to this team continuing to to fight and continuing to get get the ball up to the playmakers. And I'm expecting a 2-1 victory for our guys, and I want to come in to face to our next home match on all cylinders. I want that. I don't want any kind of question mark or letdown. We need to come in firing, and I expect that on Saturday, and I expect that coming up on Wednesday. I want to be ready for that.
Any final thoughts, Andrew, before we get out of here?
yeah. It's the team is they're looking good. We brought it up last week, the week before. It feels like they've maybe turned a bit of a corner here, a bit of a slump to start the year, but we like where they're going. We like what they look like, and we are feeling good about our chances going in. So you stay the course, you be loud, you be excited, and when 513 day comes around and you've got the the infamous man in pink that shows up. Uh, be sure to boo him and throw whatever choice words you may have floating around your head his way, and it's all for the glory of Cincinnati. So let's get it.
He traditionally does not play well here. He played well, I guess, in the playoffs, but we tend to, if we play our game, we put him in stock. Any last words, Mark?
Uh, the only thing I want to say is it was great to see our old mate in FCC colors, now with green and black with Austin FC. Andrew, Brandon Vasquez returned to the pitch in the 88th minute, and just all smiles around. And I'm just happy for that man. What he did for our team, I'll never forget. And I'm just happy to see him getting back on the pitch and smiling again.
I thought you were going to say Andrew Gutman just got traded to Austin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Believe me. Well, I don't want to hear Kuipers or Zinkernagel any more this year. That's my last point.
That sounded like a beer chant. Zicker knocker, oi, oi, oi. It's like, no, I don't want to see that. Uh, I think we do handle the Flamingos, particularly at home. I know that we're going to be loud and proud. the one thing that this town likes is effort. And when we were losing, we weren't just losing, we weren't showing effort. And then there's a period of time where we were showing some effort, but we weren't getting results. Now we're getting results in effort, and you can see how this team plays together, how the week goes faster, how everybody seems to be friendlier, how the sun seems to shine always on you when that happens. Oh, there's an animal behind you, Andrew. Anyhow, it is the effort that this team has put in. This is a blue collar town historically, and they like their effort. We like our effort in all of our sports, and that's what we're showing. And that's what you want. We've got talented people who are beginning to show you why they are here and why we have 16 or so players that could start for this team, because everybody wants to do that. So keep your head up, Cincinnati. Keep your head up, FC Cincinnati supporters. We've turned a corner. Whether we win or lose in Charlotte or lose both, even as long as the effort is there, you know that this team is going to get turned around. So that's my final word. That's my positive spin on things. I was excited for talking about this last week, because I'm tired of hearing about, well, this and that, the other thing, and red cards and refs and all that stuff. No, this is all about effort. Regardless of where the ball bounced or what they did or didn't do on a PK or whatever, the effort was there. We played a man down for 30 minutes and scored and won again. So get loud, Cincinnati, this Saturday or this coming Wednesday, and we will see you next time here on FCC Supporter Square.
Thank you for watching FCC Supporters Square. Please like and subscribe on YouTube and Spotify. The intro song was Disappointed by the Stone Bunnies. The outro song was Awesome Sauce, also by the Stone Bunnies. If you'd like to be on the show or contact us, it is at fcc.supp.square@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.